For years, Julio Foolio is one of the most recognizable voices in Jacksonville's drill scene. Known for his unapologetic lyrics, involved diss songs, and long-running beefs, he built a loyal fan base while becoming one of the most controversial figures in modern rap. But in June 2024, after he was celebrating his birthday in Florida, unfortunately, he was shot and killed on the scene. Nearly a year later, arrest and court proceedings began shedding light on what investigators believe happened. This is the full story from his rise in Jacksonville to an investigation that's still currently unfolding. Let's get into it. To understand Julio Foolio, you have to understand where he came from, which was Jacksonville, Florida. And that wasn't always seen as like a major hub for rap music, but over time it developed its own sound, heavily influenced by drill music coming out of Chicago, but shaped by local neighborhoods, beefs, and social media. Julio Foolio, real name Charles Jones, grew up in the north side of Jacksonville. From a young age, he started turning his real-life experiences into music. At first, it was just local attention, small YouTube uploads, regional buzz, but people in the city started recognizing his name. But what made Julio Foolio stand out was how direct his music was. He wasn't just rapping about his ambition or lifestyle, he was referencing real people, real events, and real conflicts happening around him.
Went out to eat on his birthday, 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. Damn. He kept dissing on me. What happened? Now we smoking 23.
And as social media platforms started growing, that kind of content started spreading much faster, way faster. And suddenly, Jacksonville rap just wasn't local no more. It was being watched nationwide. And Foolio quickly became one of the most recognizable names in that wave. But as you know, with attention comes pressure, and with that pressure comes escalation. One of the most important parts of Foolio's career was his long-running beef with the other artists from Jacksonville. What made the situation different from typical rap beef was how long it lasted and how public it became. Diss tracks weren't just songs, they were responses in real time. One track would drop, then another artist would respond days later. Social media posts, Instagram lives.
Oh shit. Oh bro.
And YouTube comments all became part of the back and forth. Fans wasn't just watching music releases, they were watching an ongoing story unfold in front of their eyes. Julio was one of the most outspoken voices in that environment. His music often directly referenced specific events or individuals, which kept his name constantly trending in local rap discussions. But as the music gained attention, so did the seriousness of the situation. People outside of Jacksonville began following the rivalry like a series. Clips were posted, lyrics were analyzed, and every new release seemed to add another layer to the conflict. And over time, what started as music promotion became something way more complicated. Because in Jacksonville's rap scene at that time, the line between entertainment and real-life tension wasn't always clear. And that blurred line is what made the situation so widely discussed. As Foolio's popularity grew, so did his presence online. He wasn't just known for music, he was known for moments. Instagram lives, interviews, and viral clips often circulated just as much as his songs.
How you want to play
He's
on
scary,
Instagram?
bro. That's what I'm
Pulling
saying.
up
He's
for real.
scary. He's on nothing, bro. He's on nothing. He's being a bitch.
So what he said?
What
he saying?
His content strategy was direct. Stay visible, stay active, and keep dropping music consistently. And it worked. Millions of streams, consistent engagement, a loyal fan base that followed everything he dropped. But the same things that boost his visibility also kept the rivalry in the spotlight. Every time Foolio posted something, it could spark reactions. Every reaction could turn into content, and every piece of content kept the cycle going. At this point, the situation had gone far beyond music charts. It had become a long-running narrative that people followed in real time. And like many internet-driven stories, it was constantly evolving. In June 2024, Julio Foolio traveled to the Tampa area to celebrate his 26th birthday, where he thought he would be safe since his ops were all the way in Jacksonville. According to investigators, he was staying at a hotel and had been moving between locations throughout the night. What was supposed to be a celebration turned into a rapidly changing situation. Reports from law enforcement later indicated that there was activity leading up to the shooting that involved multiple vehicles and surveillance footage from the area. Later that night, while Foolio was inside a vehicle, gunfire erupted.
And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee. And again, they're still shooting at him. He's the right front passenger in that vehicle.
He was shot and killed at the scene, and several others inside the car were also injured but survived. The news spread almost instantly. Within minutes, social media began posting reactions, tributes, and speculation, but at that point, very little verified information was available publicly, and the story was far from over. After the shooting, law enforcement agencies launched a large-scale investigation. Detectives reviewed surveillance footage, phone records, digital evidence, and witness statements. Over time, investigators began building a timeline of events leading up to the shooting. Eventually, multiple arrests were announced in connection with the case. According to prosecutors, they believed the shooting was not just random, but instead planned way in advance. The suspects charged all pleaded not guilty, and the case is still moving through the court system. As with any ongoing legal case, the evidence will ultimately be reviewed in court before any final determination is made. But what's already clear is that the investigation itself became one of the most closely followed cases in recent rap-related news. In the hours and days after Foolio's death, social media became flooded with information. Some posts were accurate, but many were not. Different accounts began sharing theories, naming individuals, and attempting to piece together what happened, often without verified sources. Law enforcement officials later emphasized that much of what circulated online did not reflect confirmed evidence. This created confusion, especially among fans really trying to understand the situation. It also highlighted a larger issue in modern rap culture: how quickly real-life events become internet narratives before official facts are released. Julio Foolio's story is more than just a headline. He was a central figure in one of the most discussed rap scenes in the most recent years. His music continues to be streamed by millions of listeners. His influence can still be heard in newer artists coming out of Jacksonville. But his story also reflects something bigger about modern rap culture, where music, social media, and real-world conflict can all become deeply connected. And when that happens, the consequences extend farther than the internet. If you want more documentaries like this, subscribe to Trap Wisdom and comment what story you want covered next. I'ma see y'all.
What do you know about Julio Foolio? Let's start from there. I think he's a piece of shit. I watched all those videos. I went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, we all did.
I mean, that Joker's desecrating graves. He is asking to be killed. There is no doubt about it.
It was inevitable.
I can't believe it took this many years for somebody to kill him. Honest to God.